Troika Mobile.
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's all you got. It's the Red Troika Boys here in the flesh. No blades. All memes.
Fuck them boys.
Fuck them blades. This is our first live stream. It's a big deal, guys.
We are following the telos of our podcast from about memes intermittently to have an entire episode about a single meme.
About this meme here.
One meme.
One meme to rule them all.
This
One
is
meme
the
to bind them.
Pumpkin spice meme.
All right. So because we've made many jokes on the Lost Horizons Network about having a show that just explains memes, we're just doing it. This is it. So obviously, Chairman Bane.
CC Don.
Yep. Comrade Commissar Degeneracy. It's me.
It's
me, Macho Man fucking Randy Savage.
You know who the fuck it is.
Yeah, you know what it is, bitch.
All right, so listen, y'all. We're here to explain this fucking meme. That's the name of the game. CC Don picked this meme because he finds it baffling.
I have a lot of questions.
I'm pretty baffled too. I'll say that.
So this might be hard to read. So do you want to give everyone a summary of the meme?
We can't see shit either. So can y'all see it? We can't see it. So
I can barely read this. Okay. So this is the pumpkin spice Baudrillard meme. Stage 1. Initially, the sign is a reflection of basic reality,
Which is just a pumpkin.
It's a little pumpkin.
It's a little pumpkin.
We have stage 2. The sign masks a basic reality. The image becomes a distortion of reality. And that's the pumpkin pie.
pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
We have stage 3.
Stage 3.
The sign marks an absence of basic reality. The image calls into question what the reality is and if it even exists. And that is the
Pumpkin spice latte.
Pumpkin spice latte.
Starbucks pumpkin spice latte confirmed.
And we have stage 4. The sign bears no relation to any reality whatsoever. It is its own pure simulacrum. And that is, what is that?
It's like coffee made pumpkin spice creamer.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all, has anyone ever had this coffee made pumpkin spice creamer?
No.
I have.
You have?
It's garbage.
Okay.
I've only had this.
You've never just had a regular pumpkin? Just a little pumpkin?
I mean, I've never eaten a small pumpkin. No.
You've never had a pumpkin spice latte either?
No, of course not.
Okay, no wonder this meme is so baffling to you.
Yeah.
Anything one of us has experienced has been experienced by the entire Troika, I believe.
We are truly a collective subject.
We're a collective subject.
Yeah, like Subcomandante Marcos. It's just all of us make up the one entity.
Right. So should we dive in?
Yeah, this is your fucking, you're Mr.
Okay.
Toad's Wild Ride, so ask away.
Okay. I have a question about pretty much every single one of these sentences, so let's just start from the beginning.
So it looked like somebody posted something. Sorry, I don't know how this shit works.
Yeah, that's our first stream. I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Just bear with us.
Yeah.
No. If you say anything in the chat, if you type F in the chat, we're not going to pay attention to it. So
That's right. We answer no questions. We will answer to no one.
yeah, exactly. Okay. So stage 1, a little pumpkin.
What about it?
Initially, the sign, image or representation, is a reflection of basic reality.
Let's talk about Eric Auerbach, the mimesis.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Do you think that signs inherently reflect or represent reality?
No.
Okay, moving on.
I guess it depends on the sign, right?
Does it?
I don't know.
What's your question?
Okay, so my question is what is the basic reality of this thing?
Are you asking what is the ontology of a pumpkin?
Well, okay, so the basic reality is just that pumpkins exist,
Oh yeah.
or is it that obviously I think that there's a relation of the natural world, right? These are very natural.
Yeah.
This is incredibly unnatural, right?
Okay.
But I'm already gonna get. You can probably see where I'm going automatically, right? Which is I don't necessarily see these as being necessarily unnatural and natural to me are aesthetic definitions, not necessarily clear philosophical definitions. But,
Holy shit.
but anyway,
Let's go.
okay,
My brain is slowly frying.
I know.
the heat is on medium right now. I
Okay.
believe.
What?
So when you say it's a reflection of basic reality, what does that mean to you?
Okay, so my perspective here is basically that this pumpkin is something that we apprehend to be real or to be materially pure. So it has like some kind of essential pumpkinness to it because it's the most basic form of a pumpkin.
Yeah, sure.
Not that it's necessarily ontologically actually a pumpkin. It's not. It's made up of other shit too, I guess. But
okay.
Did you just go full blown Delusian?
I don't know, man. You asked me what I think.
Is a pumpkin a machine?
Yes. Yeah. It's a machine for carving faces into.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Right.
Okay, so when we're talking about, so how do you feel about like reality as being sort of simultaneously in this sense with some sort of like purity or naturalness?
Reality, purity.
Well, I think the idea is that at least in linguistics and structural linguistics, the idea is that the sign for most of human history, the sign and the thing that it was signifying. Stop fucking up the stream, CC.
This stream brought to you by Roku.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm saying that like, I think until Saussure, the idea was that the sign and the thing that it's signifying are like coincidental. They are one thing. And so the idea is like, where's our meme? There we go. All right. So the idea that I see here is that in stage one, we're saying that the image of the pumpkin, literally the image in the meme, is the same thing as the reality. We're saying that like the image and the reality coincide together, which I think is why whenever we get to stage 4, it's like it's complete fucking chaos.
So the image, is this like, are we talking about literally the picture of the pumpkin, or are we talking about like the flavor of pumpkin, or like, what are we talking about?
All right, so I think that we got to go full Wittgenstein here. So there's actually there's 3 things, or 2 primarily things operating. There's the image, the picture of the pumpkin, and the word, the sign. Okay. Well, if it said pumpkin on there, that would be the same thing. Where it's like, okay, the word or the image is the same thing. It perfectly represents something in reality, quote unquote reality.
Okay.
Yeah, but I guess so where is the reality? Is the reality on the side of the image, or on the side of the sign, or somewhere else?
Well, I think that's the whole fucking point of Baudrillard. It's like as we go down, it's no longer on the side of reality. It's only on the side of sign. Reality is the sign, and that's why it can be completely fucking disconnected from reality, and you get this stupid bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I literally feel like, once we, move forward in the progress of global warming and we can no longer actually farm any vegetables, pumpkin will just be like a strange orange shape that like refers to a vegetable that no longer can be produced. And so then we will just have like a simulacra of a pumpkin, or like,
is this kind of like the picture of the save button that's not a floppy disk?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or like the picture of a phone that's like the old kind of phone that you had to like pick up off the hook.
I was also thinking in the Matrix.
Just a rectangle.
Do y'all remember the discussion about tasty wheat in the first Matrix film? Whenever Mouse is saying that like, I have no idea what tasty wheat actually tasted like. All I get is what machines think it tasted like, and then they feed those signals into my brain.
This was like why everything tastes like chicken.
Yeah, so everything tastes like chicken, because that's the machines just doing real dumb guy shit, because they don't know how to talk about flavor.
Okay.
Go into flavor.
Or like in fucking Brazil, where they like get served a little pile of slop, and then they get a picture of the fucking steak.
Yeah,
and so you just eat the slop, and you imagine that it's steak by getting just the image.
It could also be that. Yeah, it's a very pervasive sort of philosophical problem in film.
Okay. So actually, before we go on, I'd like to. Do you guys buy into this?
I don't know what I'm even fucking buying into here, man. What does this even mean? Like, I recognize your criticism, Don, that basically the first picture, the stage 1 picture of the actual pumpkin, or the actual quote unquote actual pumpkin, is also in itself problematic by nature of the progression into like the more sort of disassociated forms of the pumpkin, right? Because once we reflect that back into the original pumpkin, we recognize that the pumpkin itself actually has no relation to what pumpkin is.
There you go.
It's just a floating signifier that like is unrelated to what it represents. I mean, I feel like people are commenting and shit.
You want to go up there and see what they're saying? This is fucking live.
Sure.
Who gives a shit?
All right, who gives a shit? Let's see.
What are they saying, CC Alex?
Looks like we got some people in the chat that effed us. Zach Bello.
F in the chat.
Thanks for being here. Also, let's see. Sergeant Frosty. Image equals reality. Semicolon. We only have images, comma, and then we have images of images, comma, and then we have images of images of images.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Images all the way down. Images all the way down.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Solid analysis. Icy cold.
Okay.
Be good.
We're
Gave
still
me
gonna
the
talk-
madness.
We're still gonna talk about all this stuff.
Yeah.
We're doing a fucking stupid live stream.
Yeah.
Okay. We're only on stage 1, guys. We got a lot to go.
Yeah, we got a lot of ground to cover here. What do you
All
got?
right. Stage 2. The sign masks a basic reality. The image becomes a distortion of reality. The pumpkin pie. What is it distorting?
Ooh, okay. So here's my guess. Have you ever made a pumpkin pie?
Of course not.
I'm shook by that answer. Okay.
CC Don does not enjoy sweet
Yeah, it's actually
sweet treats.
he doesn't have a sweet tooth. That's true. So okay, whenever you make a pumpkin pie, you can either like make one out of this bullshit, out of an actual fucking real pumpkin, right?
Nah, man, you got to go to the store and get the slop in the can.
Okay, so
That's what you got to get.
yeah, so the slop in the can with its additives, its extra sugar. I think the idea would be that the pumpkin pie mix out of a can is in itself a distortion of the basic reality, which is this little pumpkin up here.
Mm. So again, are we talking about some sort of like, is it the taste? This is a fake taste of of what pumpkin's supposed to be like?
That's a good question. I mean, does a pumpkin pie actually taste like pumpkin? I would say no, because like it has sugar and milk and fucking brown sugar. I know.
I don't think it resembles the flavor of a pumpkin like
So is
almost
that,
at all.
is that what it's
Yeah,
masking? Right?
Not even the texture.
Is that what it's masking? Is the flavor of a real pumpkin?
Well, but see, this brings up a problem, right? Because
Yes.
if it is masking the flavor of a real pumpkin, then what exactly about the pumpkin is being preserved in the mask other than it's referent to the pumpkin as a vegetable,
Right.
right? Because the pumpkin as a vegetable is not represented in texture or in flavor or in quality unless you get a really shitty pumpkin pie that actually tastes like pumpkin, then you know you got a shitty one.
Yeah.
Right? Like
That's
you're
true.
eating it and you're like, this just tastes like pumpkin. I don't want to eat that.
Yeah,
And
that's
so-
not what you're into. for
Yeah,
pumpkin
it's like you
pie.
eat pumpkin pie because you want it to be like sweet and fucking taste like a marshmallow, basically, but with
Yeah.
orange color and mushy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's
so,
true. Yeah. Yeah, so in a strange way, it's like your desire for the object of pumpkin pie is actually not for anything even remotely resembling pumpkin. Your desire is for something that is, like a distortion of reality.
Right. So I mean, isn't this a representation of a reality, which is a pumpkin pie? I mean, I guess I don't understand why a pumpkin pie is less real than a pumpkin.
Well, I don't
it's
think
not less real.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just the materiality that we exist in, or the ontological space that we exist in, will slowly start to fade into like the more further outer layers of this like representation. If the innermost layer of the pumpkin is like the vegetable pumpkin, then eventually we lose that thing, or like a way of referencing that thing directly, or like experiencing it directly. The sign will eventually shift into like these strange ways of representing a pumpkin, like pumpkin spice latte. Like, what is that even related to? Like, I know we're not on stage 3 yet. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
we're getting ahead of
don't get out of just
like,
slow your
fuck
roll.
linear time. Like, what is this?
Actually,
1, 2, and 3
that is
shit?
true. We are all about abolishing linear time, so I can't argue with that. So,
Look, it's all right. It's all right. Red Troika Boys will make it through this one.
Yeah.
So
Or
stage
not.
2.
Or we will not make it through.
The only way out is through.
Fucking dabble on that shit.
So
So I get big dabble. So I guess I would say that, I mean, for me, it's like there wouldn't exist no even concept of pumpkin pie without the actual pumpkin that it's referencing. It's like the idea is like like a pumpkin pie is a real.
Oh, we got Graveson.
What up, Grayson?
What's up?
What up, son?
Graveson, quick question. Why does Don look like a medieval archer?
Doc, answer.
Don, where's your bow?
It's a Gorka. It's a tactical Gorka.
Tactical Gorka. That's his answer.
So it's like the modern form of a medieval archer.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, CC Don signifies an image of a medieval archer? Question mark?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
sure. Let's go
Official
with that.
official
with that.
Red Troika answer, Sergeant Frosty, is yes. What's up, peeps? Yeah, what's up, Graveson? Why don't we all look like medieval archers? What are we doing with our lives?
Excellent question.
There you go. That's the right
Excellent
energy.
question.
That's the energy we need for this.
All right. Abolish linear time. Abolish horny jail. Abolish gravity. Abolish reality. Don't be fucking weird.
Yeah.
Don't be fucking weird.
That's part of our.
We got an episode coming up
We
on
got an
that for you
episode coming
guys.
on it. And then
We said
dress like
it
a
as
medieval archer.
I'm dressed up as a medieval archer. Adam is dressed up as Bane.
Yeah, no, you can be weird in the image. You just can't be weird socially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that this isn't weird socially.
Well, know your
I
audience.
don't fucking know.
Know your audience. It's a
We'll talk
fucking
about
red
it.
dog
We'll
right.
talk
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
on the
We're gonna
episode.
talk it out.
It's on the
We're gonna talk
episode.
it out.
It's fine. Okay.
So
Have you
my,
made it to stage 3 or not?
no, we have not. So my answer was is that the pumpkin pie, as an entity, as a thing with ontological weight, only exists as a reference to the original stage 1 pumpkin.
Okay.
So it's like it still exists. It has concrete materiality, but it is not. It cannot exist on its own without the thing that it's referencing, right? So I think that's fucking straight up real dumb guy Baudrillard.
Oh yeah, that's dumb guy shit. It can exist
Well,
without.
Baudrillard is real dumb guy shit.
All right.
Is there a word that you guys would, if you were writing this, you would replace reality? Because I feel like reality is like, and this was my annoyance with Baudrillard when I was reading this, is like,
Reality.
I can kind of understand what he's like getting at, but I feel like the words that he uses are so broad that don't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's using them in a different context than what I'm used to, but I just feel like that this isn't a good word to use here.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
That's fine. Okay, that's not
Ontological space. That's what I would say. Something like that. I don't fucking know.
That's much easier to understand.
Yeah.
Ontological space instead of reality.
The ontological horizon.
I like it.
Shit. Lost the meme.
That was the TV this time.
Oh, was it the TV show?
We got infiltrators. Somebody's hacked
Oh
us.
shit! Did the NSA hack our shit?
Oh no, here we go.
Fuck you, NSA.
Yeah. Fuck you, NSA.
Okay,
All right, we're live streaming like a younger man.
we ready to go to stage 3?
Are we?
Sure.
Let's
Let's
do it.
let's see what's going on over here. People talking and shit.
What else we got? CC Alex.
Let's see. Gravesman, this stream needs a heroic dose of Marxist-Leninist Juche Pulgasari thought.
I agree.
Okay. Only Pulgasari can complete the dialectic, comrade. Thank you, Graveson. This is very insightful. Metronome. Oh, Metronome, what's up?
What up?
Hey, we're all now Marxist Pulgaris. It is official. I don't know who decided this, but I guess that's where we're at now. So.
That was the Red Library movie night last night.
Yeah, that was for anyone that isn't aware. But the fuck we're
Okay.
talking
Yeah, I
about.
wasn't there for that. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
All right, come on. We're going local. Stage 3. Let's do
Stage
it.
3. The sign marks the absence of basic reality. The image calls into question what the reality is and if it even exists.
I mean, I will tell you, I have never had a pumpkin spice latte, but every time I have seen them, it does make me question everything about reality.
Does it make you question the reality of pumpkins?
I mean, in a way,
far,
yeah,
so
sure.
far is there
Why not?
a part of all reality, but not pumpkins specifically?
Well,
just reality in general.
well, so the thing is like, the idea is that, okay, I encountered this thing called pumpkin spice. It is completely made up flavors, crafted in a fucking lab by a bunch of exploited fucking research scientists for Starbucks. So whenever I encounter it, the idea is that retroactively, with sort of Freudian afterwardness in a way, it's like, wait a minute, is anything that I encounter, does it occupy ontological space? You know, it's sort of like, wait a minute, if this thing can be fake, does that then mean that all things can be fake?
Yeah, of course.
You mean, yes, of course, everything is fake?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, well, can I add something here, maybe?
No.
I think some of your ontological terror or horror that you experience when you see the pumpkin spice latte has to do with the distance that has sort of started to grow between the actual thing that pumpkin spice latte is in reference to and how far away we've come from like what it actually references. So it's not so much that you think pumpkins aren't real, because obviously pumpkins are real, but like the degree of like distance, well, I don't know, but like voids, they're also fucking not real. But you know what I mean, to the degree that you could hold one in your hand, that doesn't mean anything's real either. But it's a dance of light. But so kind of like the screen you're staring at right now.
Yeah, are we real? Are you real?
What is real? This is the real question we're talking about today, right? Are you really a medieval archer? Are you really Bane? Am I really fucking Macho Man Randy Savage?
Who could say?
Of course, yes. All three of those are true. Yes.
They are simultaneously true and not true.
Ooh. So
in here.
up until some point, our ontological horizon was exploring what was true or what was material about our signs and how they relate to the thing they represent. Now what we're exploring is the other side, which is how far and like how deeply into absurdity we can go, and how far we can stretch those signs away from what they originally meant, and how deeply the human experience can endure that separation. So
I love everything that you just said.
All right. Anyway, moving on.
So wait. So what's the practical difference between the latte and the pie?
Well, it's okay. So here's my conjecture about the relationship between the pie and the pumpkin spice latte is that the pie is trying to represent the pumpkin in some way, while the pumpkin spice latte is actually trying to represent the pumpkin pie.
Okay.
Because the pumpkin spice latte kind of tastes more like a pumpkin pie than anything pumpkin related.
Yeah, that is true. Because in a way, what it's mimicking, so in a pumpkin pie, there is still at least possibly, let's say you go to Whole Foods and buy some Bourgie, like fucking organic garbage, right? Mm-hmm. Odds are there's going to be some sort of like, there's going to be some element of actual pumpkin flavor in the mix, right? Mm. So, but whenever you get to this, there is nothing like that. Pumpkin spice.
Reference to this.
Yeah,
nothing is nothing.
It's nothing means nothing.
Nothing
you know?
means nothing.
But the thing is that with this, it's like what it's representing of the pumpkin pie is like there is no. I mean, it might vaguely reference that something called pumpkin once existed. Oh. You know, we don't know if it still exists. But this is pure simulacrum at this point, or it's getting to pure simulacrum because it's basically like it's at least still a couple of orders away. Yeah. Right. And it's at least you can still conceptualize or have some experience of like, oh, I know what a pumpkin pie tastes like. Mm. I mean, really, I think what they're selling you is fucking nostalgia. Right. They're selling you nostalgia and the traditional values of the nuclear family. Really, that's really what you're buying. Yeah. That's some evil shit. It is some evil shit. That's why Starbucks is like cucking our fucking universals, man.
Always getting cucked by that capitalism. Man.
Yeah, man. That's what it does.
Fucking Boyds.
Fucking Boyds, yeah, man.
So, okay. So for Baudrillard, and for this meme, I guess.
Yeah.
What's the significance of an item that is becoming divorced from reality? Yeah.
Or it's like it's outside reality.
The sign marks the absence of basic reality.
Yeah. Basic reality.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a good point.
Why does?
But that would be true for all steps, right? Like the pumpkin is still marking the basic absence of pumpkin, right? Like the pumpkin stands in place of where there is nothing. Like why do we need differentiation if if signs are truly representative of what they represent? Like we wouldn't need differentiation because signs would manifestly, I don't know, like I feel like categorization or classification comes as a result of things not necessarily in themselves differentiating themselves. I don't know how to fucking say this. Maybe this is stupid. I should just shut up. But basically, I'm just like, if you look at a pumpkin, just because it's there in front of you and you can touch it and see it, doesn't necessarily mean it's materially there, right? Like there has to be. It is a referent to its own quality that it lacks.
Yeah. Well, okay, so
hold on.
Am I wrong here?
Let me ask this motherfucker.
Wait, do you guys want to read this? Like, when people are fucking saying things, I feel like we should actually care. Should we not care?
I will respond to nothing.
Okay. You will respond to nothing.
Do you want me to read them?
Yes, go fucking read them. I'm tired of standing up. Jesus.
All right, we got. What up, y'all? Actually, CC Don did just oppress one of our cats. He is a pure Stalinist whenever it comes to felines.
We are cat slave drivers, basically.
Graveson wants us to acknowledge that birds are real. We will never do that. And cats are CIA paid operatives. No, we will not acknowledge that. Okay, yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right, now that that's done, back to the meme.
Yeah, back to the meme.
Was it you already deal with the question to Alex?
Oh, what was the question?
Well, you were basically, it's a very Lacanian interpretation. It's like the sign only is necessitated like by the absence of something. It's like it's by the mother's absence or the thing's absence that we then have to have a sign that like allows it to stand in place of the actual thing.
Yeah, basically something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Something dark side.
I'm not disagreeing with it. I'm just saying that's kind of what I hear you saying.
Yeah, basically, a thing is only standing in place of its own absence. They're like a thing that we are apprehended by or that discloses itself is only standing in place of its own absence or its own impossibility.
What do you think of that, CC?
So, I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay. Let it marinate. Let it marinate.
Yeah. So again, is your answer like when I ask, what's at stake for Baudrillard here? Like he seems to think that there's a problem with us, with things masking, the reality being masked, right?
Ooh.
You would say that. I mean, it sounds like from your interpretation, Cameron, Alex, you'd say nothing. I actually don't have the same concern as Baudrillard.
Yeah, no, chaos reigns. I mean, what the fuck are we supposed to do? Yeah, things change in meaning and they shift away from like their fucking reference points. I mean, it's like we were talking about before with like the symbols for telephone and like the symbols for save, being like things that we don't encounter in reality anymore. I mean, they exist somewhere, like if you were to go down the etymology of like, why does this thing look like this? And like the historical research that's been done, you might find some answers, but it's kind of like at the end of the day, why the fuck do we call it hand to hand? Some fucking guy one day was just like, and like that fucking evolved
That's
into
exactly how that happened.
it's completely arbitrary at some point, and
like, do you think that there's at its heart like an anarcho-primitivism to this?
Ooh,
Yes.
that's a good point.
I do. I think that really at the end of the day, what Baudrillard has not fully divorced himself from.
Can we get an anarcho-primitivism fire in the chat?
Yeah, can we get some Andrew fires in the chat, please?
Have some Teddy Case.
Yeah, F for Teddy K.
F for Teddy K. Yeah, F for Teddy K.
But I do think that Baudrillard still at the end of the day has not completely relinquished the idea that there was a reality that did exist back then somewhere in the past and that we have like fallen away from it. I still think he has not been able to separate himself from that, and I think it leads to his utter nihilism and complete political futility because he still cannot give up on that actual, like, critiquing that assumption.
Is it kind of like when Heidegger makes a big deal about technology, or like when people on fucking Netflix make a whole fucking movie about how technology is so evil because it's like so dangerous because it's like manipulating our thoughts and we're like addicted to our phones and shit?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I do. Okay. I think there's
kind of a little bit of a spurious fear, like maybe there's also like an enormous potential to the ability for science to shift and move in different directions.
Yeah, it's part of I think what you get whenever you fundamentally like negate or think that like anything that quote unquote is dialectical as like a method of analysis and like a way of understanding phenomena. Like once you divorce yourself from that, like what else are you gonna do but just become this like boomer reactionary that's just like, cell phone bad. Me no open PDF. It's like that's what I think you get. I really do think you get that. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like an enormous for what I see is like when you try to put like a constraint on meaning in this like top down sort of way of like these things can only like categorically mean or refer to certain things. Yeah. Like that's just like a push towards fascism or a push towards like some kind of overarching system of control.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a shared like underlying assumption that I'm not saying like is fascist because like we're not real fucking dumb guys all the time. It's not the same thing as being fascist, but there is a shared like philosophical
language is fascist. That's why we're abolishing.
Yeah, actually abolish language. This stream is done.
Abolish language, and the rest of the stream will be in silence.
Yeah, we're just gonna have
another
20 minutes of silence.
14 hours of silence.
We're just getting started. Are you good with stage
I'm just kidding.
three?
I can't shut up if I want.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't even know if we need to go to stage 4 because I think we've answered the question. But let me read it anyway.
What is stage 4 again?
The sign bears no relation to any reality whatsoever. It is its own pure simulacrum. Yeah, I mean, I feel like my questions were already kind of. Okay, let me ask another question.
Okay.
When you see this and when you think about Baudrillard, one of my problems with this with like Baudrillard is that I feel like this applies to like maybe 4 things. And I wrote, like this is actually a decent example, which is why I had questions about it because I was actually like, actually this is one of the things that kind of makes sense.
We got a cat in the chat, y'all. Is this cat real?
Yeah.
You decide.
You decide.
So like this is a good example, but like how many examples of this are there? Is he basically saying that like stage 4 there's like the start of things at stage 4 and we're gonna eventually keep going there? And most things are still at 2 or at 3?
So this is an interesting question because you gotta wonder like what are Baudrillard's examples of this? I think Baudrillard would say that at least an earlier work of his, that this is all actually emerging out of the commodity form. Mm-hmm. And the sort of the stand-in of money, of like the actual piece of paper money that you hold in your hand, that the commodity form in a way like sort of splinters out and then starts to shape how we understand signs and reality as like a totality of like making sense of the world. Okay. And so I think that would be the idea. It's like, well, because that's like the primary starting point, the assumption or like what he's asking you to buy is that this is now like just part of everything. Mm-hmm. But realistically, I think that there's a reason why Baudrillard is so amenable to like theories of aesthetics and talking about like film and art. And it's like, because it makes a fucking lot more sense if you're like talking about Como art and shit. Mm-hmm. Does it make sense like talking about, like going to get my oil changed? I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I don't necessarily think about Jiffy Lube whenever I'm in there, or like Baudrillard whenever I'm fucking at Jiffy Lube,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you should be, comrade.
Well, I mean, but you got to think it isn't like because I'm not like I'm just in there being a real dumb guy. Like, no, like Baudrillard, like there's no way this could ever be relevant for like my experience of getting my oil change. It's not that. It's more of just like, does this theoretical approach help me understand what my experience is at Jiffy Lube? I don't know. I mean, I don't think so. I think there are other theories, like just a brute fucking Marxist dialectical materialism. It's pure Stalinism. That's how I understand my experience at Jiffy Lube.
Okay, but what if we're at like Jiffy Lube, right? And you're getting your oil change, and the Jiffy Lube gets the idea that if they open a cafeteria at Jiffy Lube, then you can have food while you get your oil changed. And then eventually they invent Gundams, and you don't need to get your oil changed anymore. And so Jiffy Lube stops being a Jiffy Lube, but it's still called Jiffy Lube, but it's actually just like a fucking cafeteria that you go get food at. And so then it no longer bears any resemblance to its like original reason why it was called Jiffy Lube. Like you get lubed in a jiffy, like, all of us enjoy so thoroughly.
This is like Idiocracy. This is my judge film Idiocracy whenever you go to Starbucks to get like a blowjob. Or a hand job. Yeah. Bump, bump, bump.
I bumped myself.
So wait, though. Anyway, to keep going, right? You're like, okay, there's the possibility that Jiffy Lube changes into something else, right? And so, okay, so what then?
So what? No, I'm just saying, like, it doesn't implicate our like actual reality in the sense that it's not so much our engagement with the reality. None of us would still think like when we went to Jiffy Lube and ate our fucking like macaroni salad or what the fuck we ate at Jiffy Lube, like you wouldn't think to yourself like, oh, how strange how Jiffy Lube no longer like represents the thing that it once signified. Like you would just be like, oh, I'm just at fucking Jiffy Lube doing some real people shit,
I don't know,
and not just theorizing. You feel like that sometimes?
Like when you're just like, oh, this is completely different from what it used to be. Like this, like the what exists now is different from like the way that a business said existed. Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter.
Like we don't get toys in kids' meals anymore, like in Burger King. Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, no, just like the ways in which like a company starts off doing one thing, right, and then does shift over time.
Oh yeah.
I usually think of that when I'm
I mean, that's the history of like the Fordist empire, right? Like vertical and horizontal integration. Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say, what about the opposite example when a company keeps doing the same thing but changes its name repeatedly? Right, and so it chooses a different signifier.
Yeah, like Blackwater.
I was gonna say Blackwater, right?
Blackwater.
Let's go.
Blackwater changes to
F's in the chat for Blackwater, please.
No F's in the chat for Blackwater. But don't you fucking dare, comrades. No F's in the chat for Blackwater.
Yeah, so that's one that it stays doing the same thing, but it keeps changing its name, right? It keeps changing its signifier.
Okay.
I feel like that's like the opposite, right?
So it's like the signifier changes, but the core reality, the pumpkin is the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Oof, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely throws a wrench in things. Kind of. I don't know. I guess I don't acknowledge that any of this meme is relevant to anything.
Okay. Well, we're agreed.
Okay,
yeah.
I acknowledge that it is real. I acknowledge that it is real and relevant, but only for a handful of things in a very limited way.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I just think that you just got to know like when to use it, right? Like it's a theoretical framework that you got to know when to use it. Where does this actually help you as a framework understand reality? Like, what the fuck is the point of theory and all of this philosophy bullshit if it's not like this should help me understand the world and ask questions in new ways that like reveal contradictions or possibilities or whatever, right? And so if I'm like, okay, Baudrillard is like my shit, right? Like
you're saying if or that he is.
Well, no, he is not.
Okay.
But I do think that Baudrillard is helpful for certain things.
Okay.
But I think the problem I have is whenever someone like gets real, like they just get real fucking thirst trapped. Like theory thirst trapped by someone like fucking Baudrillard. And then all of a sudden it's like everything is the spectacle. Everything is fucking like simulacrum. Yeah, and it's just like you're a fucking real. Stop being a real dumb guy.
I guess my thing is also like if everything is simulacrum, so the fuck what? Like we still invest ourselves in it just as much everything is still just like continues functioning in the background.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter, you know, if we begin calling ourselves, you know, Google dupes, you know, we would still just keep doing the same shit. It's not, you know, it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, spell that one in the chat.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
free F's for Google dupes.
Google.
Yeah, for Google dupes in the chat.
Yep.
I'll send you a free sticker if you actually spell that correctly. There is no correct.
There's no correct. It's only a simulacrum, pure simulacrum.
No, but I think this is important, right? Because this is exactly the like Zizek's point about like pure ideology. It's like, yeah, we can recognize something as like, you know, pure ideology, and yet everything persists exactly as it normally does. It actually locks us into the ideological structures of capital even more effectively to be able to recognize it in this like critical, like cynical postmodern way. And I think that in the end, like even Baudrillard, again, because he still has this idea that there is a reality that existed in the past, like cannot escape that. And it ends up turning into nihilism, because the only thing that you can do with all of this is to feel like, well, everything is simulacrum now. Like there is no ability to actually affect material reality itself because I only interact with the code and science. Like what the fuck else are you supposed to do with that? You wear like, you know, brown, like low-key Maoist suits like he did at the end of his life, and you just sit around and smoke cigarettes until you fucking die. You know, but like we have to fucking go through it and like embrace the fucking simulacrum, embrace the absurdity to actually be able to have some agency and autonomy in the world, to be ethical, free subjects.
Yeah.
Going mobile.
This bomb is mobile.
This dielectric is armed. This dielectric is mobile.
Okay, well, meme solved.
Meme explained.
Yeah.
So, CC Don, you said that at the beginning we had to explain this meme to you, or you were gonna fucking kill us.
Yeah.
How did we do?
He did say that.
Yeah. Yeah. Not gonna get killed today. That's good.
Another day.
Shit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, another day to live.
Sorry.
Another day to suffer.
Wasn't there another one of those memes that you were gonna pull up? No.
Are we doing another meme?
I don't know. I just.
I think I was just flipping through my memes to see if it worked.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you saw the.
Oh wait, what about the dino one? Is that the one you were gonna say about the dinos?
We'll do that next time.
Next time.
We'll do
Okay.
that
That's the one that we were
Next
doing.
time.
We're not doing another
Where your
meme.
mind's at.
Okay. Yeah. Things changing.
Real hungry,
You know.
real hungry for meme analysis.
Yeah,
Yes.
Explaining memes.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah. Do y'all wanna have any final thoughts? This is our first stream.
I think we should catch up on some of the chat. Maybe we haven't fucking been
All
over
right.
there.
Let's see what everyone's saying.
But then, yeah, maybe we'll respond to people and if anybody said anything worth a shit over there.
This is the most based online philosophy masterclass ever. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well said, my fellow Google dupes. Agreed. Yes. Everyone's trying to spell Google dupe now. You're all wrong.
There is no true spelling.
Wow, we do have bodies. Yeah, but we're bodies without organs.
Well, he's a body without organs.
I am
He's a fucking robot.
I am. Yeah.
My organs are in here.
He's got nice squishy organs.
Yeah, I got squishy organs. Wait, do I?
I don't know. What
Do you guys think I have organs?
What do you think?
Let us know in the chat if you think I have organs.
Yeah. Do you? You know, this in true RL Red Troika like library fashion, this is devolving into complete fucking nonsense.
I mean, when you show up looking like this,
Yeah, well,
you know,
It's the nature.
what can we really get going?
We're live streaming like a younger man, with nothing held back.
but mistaken.
But mistaken. All right. Hey, you.
I think that's good. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah, this is pretty good run for the first fucking first time, man.
Yeah, this shit is warm.
I'm very warm.
So,
Yeah, I'm warm. Also,
You know, now it's dawning on me that Bane's outfit was made for the winter in Gotham and not for 90 degrees in an unnamed state and location which we are in.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm gonna sweat my ass off. This, I guess you would if you just sat still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Whatever.
Yeah.
Sweat one way or another.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. So,
Yeah.
when are we doing another one of these? I don't know. Let us know. Let us know if y'all like these.
Yeah, if you like it, we'll do it more.
We'll do it more.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
But there's no schedule as of yet.
Oh yeah, we're not. No, we'll just
No
Fuck
randomly
schedules.
decide.
Don't do that.
Yeah, abolish linear time.
Yeah.
Abolish schedules.
Tell that to your boss.
Tell that to your boss. Fuck him. All right.
All right, yeah.
All right,
I
guys.
think that's good.
Red
Good
Troika,
calling
we
it out
out.
there.
We
Yeah.
out. Thanks for
Thanks
joining
for
us,
watching.
comrades.
Yeah.
Keep
You
your
guys
ears
are great.
open. Keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah. your nose clean.
Keep your nose clean. Keep your powder dry.
Yeah.
Embrace the madness.
Embrace the madness and the mania.
Yeah.
We'll see you in the ionosphere, comrades.
Yeah.